Welcome to my channel. Some dolls are just toys, but some hide secrets darker than death. This is the true story of a doll that refused to burn, no matter how hard they tried. It was 1978 and Rohan's family had moved into their new house. Everything seemed normal. The house was old but cheap. Perfect for a fresh start. Years later, Rohan would remember the day he and his family moved into that house like it was yesterday. His mom and dad carrying boxes, his baby sister being fussy in her stroller, and him, an innocent 6-year-old boy, holding his favorite toy truck. It was the first day of summer vacation, so the next day after they moved in, Rohan and his father went to explore the attic. The air was stale and dusty, filled with cobwebs and the smell of decay. It was then that little Anya found a doll. She was playing with some other dolls she got on moving day when she saw something strange in the corner. The doll was old, with scorched marks on its face as if someone had already tried to burn it. Its hair was matted and dirty, and its glass eyes seemed to glow in the dim light. The doll was creepy, but Anya wanted it. "Can I keep it?" she asked her parents. Her mom and dad looked at each other. The doll was clearly a fire hazard. All that was left was its charred remains. But still, they let her keep it. After all, it was just a doll. That night, Rohan woke up to the sound of his little sister whispering in her sleep. He leaned closer to her crib, trying to make out what she was saying, and that's when he froze. Anya was repeating the same words again and again. "She's coming. She's coming." The next morning, Rohan told his parents about what he heard, but they just laughed it off. "Don't be silly, Rohan," his mom said. "Your sister was probably just having a nightmare." But that night, Rohan couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the burned doll sitting in the corner of the attic, its eyes glowing red in the darkness. Then something strange happened. In the middle of the night, he heard footsteps in the attic, footsteps that sounded like fingernails scratching on wood. He got out of bed and crept towards his sister's room. As he listened intently, he heard a voice. It was the same voice he'd heard in the attic, and it was right outside his sister's room. "She's coming," it whispered. Just then, a rocking chair from the corner of the room began to move back and forth, slowly at first, then faster and faster. The doll was sitting in the chair, and as Rohan watched in disbelief, it began to levitate. The doll floated towards him, its eyes fixed on his. Then it started to speak. Its voice was raspy and ancient, like the voice of a corpse. "She's coming," it rasped. "She's coming for you." Then it lunged. Rohan screamed and backed away, tripping over his own feet. The doll hit the floor with a sickening thud, but it didn't seem to feel any pain. It just sat there staring at him, its eyes boring into his soul. Rohan ran to his sister's room and shook her awake. "Anya, wake up," he whispered urgently. "The doll, it's alive." But when Anya opened her eyes, she didn't seem scared at all. In fact, she seemed really happy. "It's alive," she whispered back, her eyes shining with delight. "I knew you'd come." With that, she got out of bed and walked towards the door. "Where are you going?" Rohan asked, his voice trembling. "To find my friend," she replied, opening the door and stepping out into the hallway. "I have to go now," she said, turning to look at her brother. "But you'll come with me soon." Then she turned and walked away, leaving Rohan alone in the room. Terrified, Rohan told his parents what he'd seen. They didn't believe him, of course, but they agreed to get rid of the doll just in case. They lit a fire in the fireplace and threw the doll inside. The flames rose high, but the doll did not burn. Instead, it began to scream in a child's voice, a scream so loud that the windows rattled. Then, just as suddenly, the fire went out on its own. The doll lay there untouched, staring back at them with its lifeless eyes. In desperation, they buried the doll deep in the backyard. Everyone felt relieved, thinking it was finally over. But the next morning, when the family sat for breakfast, the doll was back, sitting calmly at the dining table. Pinned to its burnt dress was a small, handwritten note. It read, "You can't destroy me. I already live inside your daughter." To this day, no one knows what happened to that doll or what it wanted with little Anya. But some say that if you listen very closely, You can still hear its voice whispering in the wind, waiting for the day it can finally come home.